welcome to the BS Extravaganza Football Forum, sponsored by this week
CrystalDawnPhotography.com. Check her out, get your photos made. Her website is CrystalDawnPhotography.com.
Great photos. She knows what she's doing. Check it out. All right, let's get into it.
All right.
Game of the week.
Our boys from Knoxville, the guys that will never leave. Although we are very frustrated, and we do fear that we're not even going to make a bowl game this year. Let's just kind of look back. Nick Stevens started the game against Northern Illinois. Now, if you know anything about college football, you know that Northern Illinois is a
powerhouse.
They are a powerhouse.
In Northern Illinois.
I'm going to tell you something. Those dudes right there are giving up, a couple of touchdowns a game maybe. We got one on them. All right. They said Nick Stevens. Now, you got to take in consideration, Scott, Nick Stevens only threw the ball 17 times, completed 10 of them, which they said a couple of his receivers dropped.
Right.
He had about 3 drops. He could have potentially been 13 of 17.
156 yards. He had a great bomb. One of our players
hit him right in stride, but we still only scored 1 touchdown. We had a couple more opportunities to get it in, didn't we?
We did. At one point, we put together a pretty good, impressive drive with runs. We drove it all the way down to the 3. Rather than taking 3rd and 3 and just trying to pound it in on 3rd, and then once again, why not go for it on 4th? If you miss, you make them drive the length of the field. We try some kind of pass where our offensive line allows them to just flood through. He's sacked for about a 12-yard loss. So we pull out our field goal kicker, and he misses.
And that's been the story all year. They have been this close, but yet so far. So, that's a song.
So close, no matter how far.
Tennessee is in trouble, people. This week against Georgia. Georgia is coming off an embarrassment to Alabama. Although they did come back and make it look respectable, they were never in that game.
No, and I really do think it's Alabama players said, hey, we really, they can say that all day that they didn't, that they tried real hard, but man, when you're up 31-0, I promise you, you're going to calm down a little bit. All right, 31-0 cushion. They kind of backed off a level.
So now Georgia has had a week off prior to playing Tennessee. These guys are probably mad. I know Mark Richt was mad. He was very frustrated. Even heard rumors, and I've not seen the actual clip, that he actually cursed at the halftime. I didn't catch it. I don't know if that's true. But I'm going to tell you what, Georgia's going to be fired up, and if all we can do is score 1 touchdown and kick a couple of field goals, Vol Nation, we're in trouble.
I'll tell you something else, too. You mentioned Mark Richt. I think he's a great coach. I really like him. And I'm sure he was frustrated, but, man, I'd love to have him. I think he's, besides being a great coach, he's a great man. And what he did at Florida with him running out on the field and stomping up and down, I thought that was genius. People need to shut their mouth because they're mad because he got his guys fired up.
He started up, and that's liable to what's going to happen to us.
He outfoxed Urban Crier, okay?
Urban.
And that was just a genius move. Football is such a mentally emotional game. And he just one-upped him on that one. That was a sweet move. He ended up beating Florida. And he's a good coach.
So we're looking at the Tennessee-Georgia. Scott, Nick Stevens, if you're Georgia, here's your plan. They switched to a quarterback that got his first start last week against a mediocre Northern Illinois team. Although he did look good, I think Georgia's just going to load up. Whether they're running the ball or passing the ball, they're going to load up 8 or 9 men in the box. And they're going to say, hey, Nick, we're going to put pressure on you. Make him beat you with his arm. And I just don't think he's ready for it. He might be overwhelmed. He might be running for his life all day long. Taking a look at Tennessee's offensive line is not holding up like people said they would. And you know, if they put him in tough situations, which I'm sure they will, I'll be really impressed with him if he can make smart decisions on the fly and actually complete passes when he needs to.
Now, Tennessee fans, you know, of course, we're always going to stay with our team no matter what, through the thick, through the thin, the good, the ugly. And you can say, yeah, you know, last year we didn't have a chance, and look what happened. That's true. It was at Knoxville, and we ended up blowing them out. However, let's just be honest. We're nowhere near what we were last year. I would love it if we were where we were at last year. But man, we've just got so many problems. We have to be real about this. As much as we love the Vols, you know, much like the Florida game, man, I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it.
What?
This is an angry Georgia team, like you said. It's been waiting a week, getting healthy. And look who comes in. Good old Tennessee, who's beat the snot out of them the last 2 years.
I don't, you know, if we win this game, I'll probably fall over of a heart attack. And I'm too young.
I want you to know that I will revive you, but I will not give you mouth to mouth.
Because we are not gay.
No.
Looking at this game, I'm going to have to say Georgia 31, Tennessee 10. And that's being generous because I don't know if Tennessee can get a touchdown in this game, and I'm being serious. If we only beat Northern Illinois by 4 and got 1 touchdown on them, I just don't know if we can get one on Georgia. I could be wrong. Nick Stevens could be the greatest thing since Peyton Manning.
He might get fired up and be a game breaker. We don't know what he's going to do. He hasn't been in this high pressure situation before. A road game in the SEC. I mean, this is as tough as it gets. You know, dude might really step up and inspire them, but they just seem so dysfunctional.
So what's your score?
Honestly, I think Georgia breaks the 40s. I'm going to go 42. 42-12.
42-12. Well, we got 4 field goals. Let me tell you, our kicker ain't even doing all that great this year, Lincoln.
And he last year was awesome, and he's just struggling this year. We are getting Colquitt back, right?
Yeah, I believe we are.
He's going to help out a lot, but man, it just looks bad. And I hope the best for the Vols. I hope we can shock Georgia again, but I'll tell you folks, I'm just not seeing it.
Vol Nation, keep your head up. Love your football team, even though we're losing. Basketball will be fired up here soon. Looking forward to that.
We can't be, as frustrating as it is when you go to these home games, we can't be booing. No. Booing does not create anything positive for your team. No. As hard as it is, just turn around and punch the chair or something, but
don't boo the team.
We don't need to be booing our own players.
And that is the words and wisdom of Scott. Listen to me. Until next time, this has been the BS Extravaganza Show, predicting Tennessee's fate.
See you after the funeral.